How's it going, guys, and welcome back to the Crypto Unveiled channel. In today's video, we're going to be looking at a cryptocurrency which I believe has the potential to skyrocket right to the very top of the cryptocurrency market. Of course, if you are new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button as we post daily cryptocurrency content. And of course, guys, like I say in every single video, this is not financial advice. This is strictly entertainment purposes only, so make sure you go out and do your own research and come to your own conclusion before investing into any coins or tokens that I mention in my videos. With that out of the way, let's get straight into the video. So today's video, we are actually going to be talking about a coin which I'm super bullish on, and this is of course going to be Flux, and the tag for Flux is exactly the same, FLUX as well. The first part of the video here, we'll just look over a few different statistics about Flux, go over the market cap and look at the charts. Then we go into what Flux actually is all about. And then last part of the video, I'll just go over my personal prediction, and then maybe we might even compare it to some of the other cryptocurrencies on the CoinMarketCap rankings and see if I believe that Flux can actually overtake these other coins on the rankings. So yeah, when we're looking at Flux, you can see the current price per Flux coin is sitting at just over, or just under around 32 cents per coin here. It's fluctuating a little bit here, however this is very normal and to be expected in the cryptocurrency market. So over the last day it's fluctuating around up or down 2% here. Over the last 7 days it's down just around 0.7%, so not that much at all. And in the last month you can see again it's fluctuating around up or down around 1% as well. So in the last month or so it's been very stable. Haven't seen too much activity with Flux. However, you can see in this part of the month here, on the 7th of September here, you can see it did actually have quite a high influx into the market cap here. You can see that the price per Flux coin actually did hit just under 43 cents per coin here. I'm not sure what actually did quite happen here. It might have just been a whale pushing a big amount of money into the market to pump up the price a bit. So yeah, you can see it had a huge spike up here. I'm not sure if there was any news that came out about Flux. I didn't see any. However, there might have been some little bit of news here, and then you can see it did actually, stabilize back down to the usual price here. If we look at the yearly chart here, you can see it's actually down just under 65% in the yearly chart. However, again, this might not be, because of anything that Flux done. This might just be because, of course, we are in a bear market and basically all cryptocurrencies are performing bad right now. However, for the more optimistic investors, this can actually be a great buying opportunity. That's how I see it anyway, for sure. If we look at the all-time chart here, you can see even from the all-time chart, of course, the people who did invest early into Flux are still up a huge amount. Of course, if they did sell in the 2021 or actually 2022, Flux actually did hit an all-time high here at the very start of 2022. Of course, they would be up stupid amounts of money. However, if they even did sell now, which is very, very, very close to the bottom here, they'd still be up a tremendous amount of money again. So just showing, if this coin does actually pump up close to where it was in the 2021, 2022, sort of around that time frame, even investors now can be seeing a huge amount of gains. And the people who bought it early and are still holding on to it now, if they do actually hold on to when it does actually hopefully spike back up again, hopefully towards the next bull run or in the next bull run, they'll be again seeing a stupid amount of gains here. As you can see, when it first came out here in 2018, it was around 2.5 cents, 2.6 cents per coin here. You can see it's currently at 31 cents per coin, and in the all-time high it did actually hit, I believe it's got some things down here, some statistics about it. All-time high was December 10th 2021, so around 2 years ago now. And it did actually hit over $4.17 per coin, which is absolutely crazy for the people who actually did buy it around 2 cents. That's around, I believe that's around 200x from when they first bought it. And you can see the all-time low was actually below when it actually first did release. It was about 2020, November 16th, about 3 years ago. It was at 1.6 cents per coin, which is absolutely crazy for the people who actually did pick it up at this price. If you did sell it at the all-time high, congratulations. However, even if you are still holding it now, like I said, there's still up a stupid amount here, and I'm sure the people who did actually buy it in this dip will still be holding on to it right now. You see the current market price for Flux is actually just over $100 million, which I believe this is still very, very low, and we are still super early into Flux. And of course I'll be explaining why as we get more into the video here, but you can see the current the 24-hour volume for Flux is actually just over $4.3 million as well. You can see the current circulating supply of Flux is just sitting over 318 million Flux coins, with the max or total supply sitting at 440 million Flux coins on the dot. You can see the fully diluted market cap is sitting at $140 million as well, with the circulating supply at 72% of the total or max supply as well. So the next part of the video here, we'll just get into what Flux actually is all about and why I'm actually so bullish about Flux. I'm sure after hearing all these different features about Flux, I'm sure that you will also be bullish about Flux as well. So the first part, I guess we'll just read what Flux actually says about themselves, give their own personal definition, then I will give my own summary to sort of simplify it for people who might not get the whole grasp about Flux. So it says, build on Web 3.0 today. The Flux Cloud is a people-powered network to help you build decentralized applications, or dApps, with increased flexibility, scalability, and censorship resistance. So if you guys didn't understand from that, basically Flux is all about, like it says here, is actually enabling developers to actually build on the Flux network, specifically towards, you know, the Web 3.0 the Web 3.0, and of course Web 3.0, Web 4.0 is of course the future. So they're basically enabling developers now to start building their decentralized applications on Web 3.0. So then they are, they are set and ready for the future. And so what actually Flux actually does for these developers is it actually provides all the resources and the tools needed for these developers to actually build, you know, whatever they need to on Web 3.0. So you might be thinking now, or saying to yourself, well, why would developers in specifics choose to build their decentralized applications on Flux, for example? Well, this is basically how I just explained. Flux will actually provide all the tools and the resources for the developers to actually, you know, fully build their decentralized applications. And what Flux will actually do, with, as well as, you know, providing all the resources, the reason why people will use all these resources from Flux is because they are so advantageous over other traditional, you know, companies or other people who provide the same services. As we look a little bit more detail in a second here, as we scroll down the website, it'll actually show specifically how advantageous, you know, using the resources from Flux is over traditional companies that provide the same service. And Flux might even be able to actually do it better than these other services. But we get a little, like I said, a little bit more in detail in a second here. But you can see here, it breaks it down a little bit more here, what Flux actually does provide for these developers. So it says here, say hello to Flux Cloud. Break the Web 3.0 barrier. So to put it very simply, the main two features or services that Flux does actually provide is actually going to be Flux Cloud, and they're actually going to be providing Flux Drive. And these two different services, as you can see here, with Flux Cloud, Flux developers can deploy and monitor their applications from an easy-to-use interface, allowing for builders to maximize performance while also minimizing application downtime. So Flux Cloud is their their service, which, like it says here, you can actually use their easy-to-use interface. As you can see here, it's on the phone here, to actually deploy and monitor their applications. And they've also got their own separate feature here, which is called Flux Drive, which is basically their own name for them providing the storage through the Flux Cloud. As you can see here, Flux Cloud also presents the next generation of storage through Flux Drive. So with Flux Drive, they will also provide the storage needed for the decentralized applications for the developer as well. So they've got an all-encompassing, easy-to-use service here, which developers can use this service, and they have everything they need in order to build this decentralized app, which of course is extremely cool to see. And people are already using these services already, so it's not just a theory, they're already using it, which of course puts a great amount of confidence into the investors that Flux are here to stick around, and they are actually here, to actually provide the service, and they are actually proud of their work. You can see that they've already got 78 country locations already, majority in Finland, also loads in Germany, and also 14% in the United States as well. You can see they've also already got almost 12,000 nodes already operational, with total RAM over 245 terabytes and total SSD over 6.7 petabytes, I believe, or peta. I'm not sure what that is. PT. Let me know down in the comments down below if I'm saying that right. They've also got total cores over 91, almost 92,000 total cores as well. So yeah, from this total amount of RAM and total SSD, you can see a huge amount of storage already being used by developers all across the world, which are actually already using the Flux Cloud and the Flux Drive features already. We've also got a little bit more about here as well, just to break down between Web 1.0, Web 2.0, Web 3.0. However, I'm sure you guys already know about Web 3.0, so I won't get too much into that already. They've also got Flux Cloud advantages here, very easy to look at here. So they've got loads of redundancy, security, interoperability, decentralization. They've also got their own watchtower here, so Docker container updates get automatically pulled, and they've also got low cost as well, which is, of course, the cost behind it is extremely important, which we'll get into a little bit more in a second here. But if we scroll down a little bit more, yeah, when we're talking about cost here, of course, cost is a huge advantage over other companies. You know, if a company or a person providing a service can cut the cost for the developer, of course, and the developer will be more likely to use their service, because if you can provide the same service for cheaper, then of course it's a no-brainer. Why would you not actually, use that service? And this is basically why I'm actually one of the main reasons why I'm actually so bullish on Flux is basically all about the cost. Flux can, to put it very simply, Flux can actually provide the same service or better than other companies, while only being a fraction of the cost. And so, like I said, if Flux is actually able to provide the same service as other companies, but a fraction of the cost, then of course it's a no-brainer. Why would they not use it? And this is why I'm so bullish about Flux, and I cannot stress it enough to you guys how undervalued Flux is right now. I can't believe that more people aren't talking about Flux. I mean, I've seen a few YouTubers talking about it, but I just do not, I do not believe that Flux is getting the recognition that they deserve right now. They are so undervalued. You can see they've got 2 CPU cores, 4 or 8, and if we compare it to other services here, other companies here, you can see how ridiculously cheap Flux actually is. I mean, this is actually, it's completely crazy how this isn't talked about more, because of how revolutionizing this actually is for developers and even companies to use. You can see here, Flux, for the all-encompassing services, got 8 gigabytes of RAM memory, and they've got 100 gigabytes of SSD storage here. And you can see Flux actually provides this service for only $2.86, and it includes bandwidth as well. You can see, if you compare it to other companies which provide the exact same service, guys, exactly the same, nothing different about these services. Google Cloud provides the same service for $176 for the same service, guys. AWS, almost $80, and Azure, over $116 for the exact same service, guys. I mean, if this right here doesn't show you why I'm so bullish about it, and if you're not bullish about this, then I don't know what will get you bullish about a coin, because like I keep saying, I keep banging on about, this is completely revolutionizing, and I don't know why more people aren't talking about this as well. You've also got the global cloud network here. It just shows the where the global cloud network is currently. You can see majority in Europe, a lot in the USA as well, and they've also got a lot of nodes in other places of the world as well. Just basically, I'm sure as Flux grows as well, the amount of nodes in places are also going to be growing as well, until eventually the whole world is going to be covered as well. So basically, anywhere in the world, you're going to get the same same services as someone else in Europe, for example, because of course I'm not sure on 100%, but I'm sure that the people in Europe are going to be able to use the service more efficiently compared to if you're further away, because of bandwidth and other things. However, like I said, as this grows and gets more popular, I'm sure they're going to expand the amount of nodes, and it's just going to be, eventually the whole world is just going to be covered. If we look at the Twitter page for Flux, you can see they've got, you know, a super strong community behind them as well. Over 150,000 followers here, and the team behind Flux, of course, is, you know, I keep saying this throughout my videos, the team behind the coin is so very much important. Because of course, if you haven't got a strong team and if you haven't got the track record there, then this does not provide a good amount of confidence into the investor. Because of course, if they don't have a strong team, they don't have the track record, then people aren't going to believe that this coin is going to be here in the future. However, with Flux, you know, they've got a super strong team, and like I've showed you at the start of the video, a super long track record here, been over over 5 years now, or around 5 years, probably even before 2018, because this is just when they actually released the coin to the market. I'm sure they were developing it a year or two even before this, so maybe even they might have even, you know, started in 2016, and the team are still here, still sticking around, still updating and improving Flux. And I'm sure, you know, if this does not provide the confidence into investors, then I don't know what will, because, you know, this just shows how proud they are actually about their work and how much they believe in Flux. You know, to be doing it over 5 years now, you know, it just again, just keep banging on about it. It just provides a great amount of confidence into the investors here. Again, you can see super active on the Twitter page as well here. You can see here they are constantly, you know, being listed on new exchanges, partnering with new companies, just providing you know, just more and more you know, resources to the developers which actually use the Flux network as well. And for the last part of the video here, again, we'll just go over my personal price prediction on Flux, which I'm sure you can guess is, of course, bullish. But if we actually look at the market cap of Flux once again and just compare it to the cryptocurrency rankings, I just want to just stress how undervalued Flux actually is right now. You can see $101 million market cap for Flux coin here. If we scroll all the way down, guys, you can see if we look around, so we actually have to go to the second page here on the coin market cap rankings, and we look around $100 million market cap, we can actually compare it to the coins, and I just believe that Flux coin should be, you know, way higher in the rankings. You can see Flux actually is right here, so 187 on the rankings. And if we look at the coins that is around right now, I don't think that these coins are, you know, Flux is not worthy of being this low on the rankings. I mean, if we look at all these different coins, I mean, the only one, the reputable one, which I believe also has a great amount of potential, is Cadena here, which is around, you know, $117 million market cap. But I believe that Flux is easily can beat Cadena right here. And if we look all the way up here, I mean, I'm not seeing any other coins which are even close to being, you know, as revolutionizing as Flux is. You know, you've got Band Protocol here, which is, you know, fairly thin. You've got Floki here, which of course is a meme coin. And for Floki to actually have a higher market cap than Flux, I just believe this is absolutely ridiculous. Flux should be way higher up here. You've got Sia coin here as well. And if we just keep scrolling up, I mean, me personally, you've got Helium here as well, almost over double what Flux coin actually has here. And you can say what you like about Helium. However, you know, Helium hasn't, you know, been as good as people first predicted it to be. Do I believe that Helium is going to pump up in price? Yes, I do. I do believe that Helium is actually going to be making a comeback because they still have great technology behind them. However, me personally, I do believe that Flux has better technology than Helium and will 100% beat it in the market cap for sure. So let's get on to my personal price prediction for Flux. I believe that Flux in the next bull run will easily hit over the all-time high. So, you know, we're seeing over 13-14x from the current price right now. And I believe that this prediction here for me personally, of course, this is prediction for the next bull run. So whenever the next bull run actually is, of course, nobody knows when the next bull run is. I'm hoping that it will be next year. However, you know, more people have been speculating that it will be in another few years. However, this is good because we can actually stack up on our more coins in cryptocurrency, whether or not this is, you know, Flux coin, Joystream, all these different coins, we can actually stack them up higher. So I don't actually mind when the next bull run actually going to be, but I do believe that when the next bull run does eventually hit, that Flux is going to be absolutely, you know, it's going to be one of the top cryptocurrencies in the market, because like I keep saying, I believe that Flux is so undervalued, and it just doesn't have the recognition that it deserves just yet. And this is a good thing for the people who are watching this video right now and people who have already invested into Flux. This is great because, like I say, you can just stack up on more tokens, so when Flux does eventually get big, you know, you're going to be making a huge amount of profit here. So yeah, my personal price prediction, we're going to be seeing at least a $4 Flux coin price per coin in the next bull run for sure. And I hope we'll be seeing, you know, a $7, $6, $7, $8 Flux coin maybe even higher in the next bull run when, once Flux actually does get the recognition that it deserves, because like I keep saying, the features that Flux does actually have provides the exact same service that these massive huge companies does actually have, but for the fraction of the price, which completely, this completely makes these other companies just useless. It completely puts them out of business. This completely, like I keep saying, revolutionizes this whole industry here. Provides the same service for a fraction of the price. So apart from that, guys, I'd like to thank you very much for watching the video. I hope I didn't babble on too much about Flux, but I'm just so passionate about Flux coin. Of course, let me know what you think about Flux down below. Are you going to be investing? Are you not going to be investing? Just let me know why. And of course, if you did enjoy the video, make sure you do hit that like button, and if you're new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button as well. Apart from that, I'll see you guys in the very next video. Peace.